Hey, this is Mark the Mind Coach. If you find these videos valuable, please hit the like button and also subscribe, share with your friends, and maybe write a comment of how you have received value from these videos for yourself personally. It will be great to hear from you. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to find it so easy to fall out of love? Well, there's a reason why people fall out of love. The main reason is because they have negative emotions and unresolved conflict. So negative emotions and unresolved conflict, what does that mean? Well, negative emotions is when we attach our negative feelings to our partner. So we come home angry, see their partner's face, come home angry, see our partner's face, come home angry, see our partner's face. Then all the time, every time we see our partner's face, we're angry. Or come home fight about something. Or go somewhere, fight about something. And then every time you're with that person, you're fighting with that person. Or there's something that bugs you. And every time you see something that bugs you, you see the picture of your partner's face. Something that bugs you, you see the picture of your partner's face. So you're creating these negative anchors, and an anchor is a stimulus response. So that's a high emotion and a situation linking together and creating meaning for you. So when you spend time with a partner and you've got negative emotion, stimulus response, and there's negative, and then they build on each other and they're building up over time these negative emotions, and then all of a sudden there's this, you distance yourself from it. You're moving away from it because you no longer want that as part of your life. So there's negative emotion. Then unresolved conflict. So when you actually have these situations where you have a disagreement and you don't agree on something, or something that really bugs you, and there's all this conflict that happens. And have you ever noticed that conflict seems to rise if someone's thinking something and you're thinking something, you're not saying anything, but there's tension in the air? Have you ever been in a situation where there's tension in the air? And it's because they're sending out these negative, this negative interpretation of this negative emotion, and then they're sending out negative emotion. It's clashing. There's this clash of that internal representation of what's actually happening. So you've got all this conflict that's happened, and it just builds over time. So you've got negative emotion and unresolved conflict, and then they're building on each other. Then over years, then it's just, you don't want to be a part of it anymore. It's just too much. You push away instead of doing the opposite, identifying what you love about the person, what you like about the person, what makes you laugh, what makes you happy, what makes you secure, what makes you safe, what you enjoy doing together, what you have in common. In order for a relationship to last, first there needs to be things that you have in common. You have common values, common interests, and a friendship that gets built on understanding that you like certain things, you like things together, you enjoy being together, you enjoy doing things together, and the same interests, enjoy doing the same things. So in order to fall in love with someone, or fall in love again with someone, it's identifying what you love about them, what you like about them, what originally attracted you to that person. What things did you used to do in the early stages of your relationship? Rekindling those moments when you had that connection, when you had that fun. You need to make your relationship fun. You need to make a relationship grow. A relationship is a living thing. It's something that needs to be built on. Growth needs to happen. It needs to build on every day. Because when you're creating negative emotion and unresolved conflict, and that is what's building, then the relationship starts to break and fall apart. Because you have your view of the world and they have their view of the world, and then you have these values and ideas of how you see the other person, how you feel about the other person, and then it creates this wedge, and this wedge just seems to get bigger and bigger as you move along. But in order to remove that, rekindling that friendship, that laughter, that joy, that fun, is identifying first negative emotion. It needs to remove negative emotion. How do you do that? Well, there's different things that we do as coaches can help you remove negative emotion. And the first thing is to identify the negative emotion that you're feeling, and you need to change the internal meaning, change the representation. Because when we focus on negative emotion, what we focus on, we fuel with emotion, and then what we focus on expands, so we get more of what we focus on. So if you've got negative emotion and you're fueling that negative emotion will expand and become larger. Then imagine all you see is the negative emotion. But if you move that negative emotion, changing the internal representation of it, moving it away, seeing it in a different way, seeing it in a new way, saying, what can I learn from this situation? What can I take away from this situation that will make me a better person? What can I understand that, the other person is a different person. You can't change them. The person that you can change is yourself. And when you change your internal representation, when you change your perspective, when you remove the negative emotion, when you remove the unresolved conflict, when you forgive, forgiveness is about giving away, so removing the negative conflict, removing the unresolved conflict and negative emotion, getting rid of it, allowing it to get out of your body, releasing it and letting it go. Then you can fill that void with things that you love about that person, things that you're grateful about that person, things that you enjoy doing with that person, what makes you laugh, what the things that you have common interest in, what did you used to do that you found that was fun. We get caught up in life, and we get caught up with all the stresses of life, then we forget to enjoy each other's company. We forget to enjoy what we loved about the person originally. We forget to do the things that we used to do on a larger basis more times than we start to do as we get older. And it's identifying, rekindling that flame, rekindling those things that gave you joy, that gave you happiness, that gave you satisfaction, that gave you that afterglow. Identify those things in your life and rekindling those things, so that you can fall in love and continually be in love with the person that you want as a part of your life. If you don't want them a part of your life, then that's a whole different story. But if you want to identify and spend your life with someone and enjoy that other person's company, focusing on what you're grateful for, what you love about them, what you appreciate about them, how you lift them up instead of tearing them down. Because if you're focusing on what's not working, what you focus on, you fuel with emotion, and what you focus on expands, then you're getting more of what you don't want. But if you focus on what you want, or what you appreciate, or what you're grateful for, what you love, what you enjoy, and building that emotion, and building powerful, strong love, great gratitude, acceptance, forgiveness, then you're fueling that with emotion, allowing that to expand, then you're getting more of that in your life. So if you want a good relationship, it's identifying, 1, am I allowing negative emotions to build? And 2, am I allowing unresolved conflict to grow? Because those two things are the main destroyers of a good relationship. So forgiveness, getting rid of, letting go, releasing unresolved conflict, and identifying, what can I learn from this? How can I learn from this? What can I take away from this, that when I take something valuable away will make me a better person? Will identify how I can relate to that person in a easier, better, more forgiving, more understanding way. Because when we expect something of someone, we build up this expectation, and then when they don't meet that expectation, it creates disappointment. And then that fuels that disappointment. Whereas if we accept the other person's view of the world, we accept them for who they are, and love them for who they are, things begin to change. Your relationship begins to change. You rekindle that relationship again. You build on what you love, what you like, what you want, and what you enjoy, and begin to allow that to build and begin to rekindle that which you want more of in your life. Well, this is Mark the Mind Coach. Have yourself a fantastic day, and remember, if negative emotion and unresolved conflict are building in a relationship, these two things you need to release and let go. Remember to write a comment on how your relationship has changed once you had forgiven, released negative emotion, removed the negative emotion, the negative interpretation of different situations in your relationship, and unresolved conflict, resolving conflict, moving on, because your future is where you want it to go. Your past has happened. Change the meaning of the past so the negative emotion does not live inside your body. The unresolved conflict does not live inside your body, where you're releasing and letting go, moving it out, and enjoying what is good, what you love, what you're grateful for, what you want to do, enjoying the company, doing things that both of you like. Sometimes one will like one thing and one will like something else. Well, enjoy to love doing what makes the other person happy, but then they do the same to you. And there's that giving 100% each, so that then by giving each other your best, then you will create the best in your relationship. Have yourself a fantastic day. Enjoy the process. Remember, what you fuel with emotion expands. So give your life more of what you deserve. Enjoy the process.